ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Fred Meyer, and I'm giving another in a series of talks on Buddhist enlightenment. The topic today is enlightened attitude. Now, traditionally in Buddhism, enlightened attitude is an approach that says, I want to attain enlightenment so that I can help others. And this is, without question, the best reason to attain enlightenment, is to be of benefit to others. That is the classic approach, or the classic enlightened attitude. Today, though, I'm going to talk about a little different enlightened attitude. And the attitude that I'm talking about today is the one that says, I want to attain enlightenment. That's my attitude. I want to attain enlightenment. Now, saying such a thing, of course, is ego-centered. First of all, there's an I there, dualism once again. Want to get enlightened. That's a very ego-centered way to look at enlightenment. But the fact is that everyone that comes to the path, to the Dharma, does so for some kind of ego-centered reason, including the Buddha. We all have things that we want to accomplish for ourselves. And some of us apply the Dharma, the Buddha's teachings and practices, to reach those ends. From my standpoint, I came into the Dharma because I had a lot of psychological pain, and I wanted to get rid of that pain. And I was going to do it through enlightenment. That's how I was going to get rid of it. I was also a physician, and the pain that I suffered really complicated my ability to be of service to others. And I had had a lot of training, and I thought that I was a good physician, and I wanted to be able to do my job to the fullest extent. So I had reasons for wanting to attain enlightenment. As a matter of fact, I was actually desperate to attain enlightenment. When I came into the Dharma, I was desperate at that point. I was, you could say that I was frightened about the kind of things that I was experiencing. And I was really desperate to have the Dharma help me and to attain enlightenment. I actually like to have a student tell me that they want to attain enlightenment. Or even to tell me that even that they're at the point of desperation, that it's that important to them, that they are completely and utterly committed to enlightenment. I like a student that tells me that. And the reasons why I do first of all, let me say that I understand that the problem with someone who wants to get enlightened, having been that way myself, and is desperate for enlightenment, and how those things actually, wanting desire for enlightenment, and the concepts we might have about it, all those really exclude us from it. And we're going to have to work through those before we actually do see what has to be seen. Nevertheless, the people who become enlightened, I believe, are really desperate for enlightenment. They have a big time commitment to enlightenment. Some examples that just that come to mind are like Milarepa, who spent years in a cave trying to attain enlightenment because he had a tremendous amount of guilt. He had killed people through magic. And that guilt, he didn't want to die as a murderer with that sense of what he had done to others. He didn't want to have that stain on his mind. And he was desperate to attain enlightenment, and he did. Naropa is another one, a brilliant guy who conceptually was amazing in the Dharma, but actually really became driven to find out the experiences behind all the information that he had. And he went through 12 years of trials. He was burned and had his extremities broken from a couple of times. It was just pretty brutal. But he actually was so desperate to attain enlightenment that he went through those things and did attain enlightenment. Now, one of the reasons why I like this sense of desperation with someone on the path is, if you're desperate, you will do what is supposed to be done in the Dharma. And one of the important things is to practice meditation. If you're desperate, you will practice meditation. And when you do, it will begin to undercut all your ego-centered reasons for wanting to become enlightened. It will undercut your hopes and fears, all your concepts about what it could be, all the looking that you do, sitting there looking for enlightenment. Over time, it will begin, the practice will begin to undercut those things. It's actually a form of, in terms of ego, a form of suicide. So bring all the wanting, all the panic, whatever it is going on in your life, bring that in to your practice and commit yourself to the practice. And that is the way that you truly can undercut all those things and eventually attain enlightenment. Another reason why I like desperate or driven people is, and the commitment that they bring, is that because the fact is, we cannot do the Dharma. I mean, or I should say, we cannot do enlightenment. We can't do it. When we attain enlightenment, we actually go from doing to being. We have to make that transition. As long as you're in a doing mode, a trying mode, a working at it mode, you're not going to experience it. The reason why it's good to try so hard from this ego-centered standpoint is, at some point, if you try hard enough, you're going to see you can't do it, and you're going to give up. And when you give up, you get it, as my teacher, the Vidyadhara, used to say. When you give up, you get it. So the more energy you pour in there, the more the will that you pour in there, the hours, the meditation, the exertion, trying your heart out. When you pour that kind of energy in there, see it can't be done, and give up on the spot, that's your chance for enlightenment. Right there. That's the quick path that way. So, in summary, if you happen to be someone who really wants to attain enlightenment in this lifetime, if you're someone who you feel is desperate, that you're pouring your heart into this practice of meditation and following the teacher's instructions and the teachings, and you are really, really committed to this, you're the kind of student who has a chance to do it, who can become enlightened in this lifetime. You have, from the way I'm using it, the correct enlightened attitude for enlightenment in this lifetime. So, thank you so much for listening, and I sincerely hope that these comments are of help to you.